either this kit, and if you do want to build this kit, please check the description below. There's a link there where you can get your own if you want to follow along, or if you're building any kit, hopefully when you see... Welcome back to the workbench where we try to make things, and what we're trying to make right now is the Bamboo Creek Water Garden Miniature Dollhouse. We've got quite the collection of miniature furniture going on so far. So in previous episodes, we made this little guy, a cooker and a shelf and whatnot. We made a wall shelf with a bunch of little accessories on it, I guess they are. We've got a couch and a fridge. And then last episode, we even made a little bed with its own little pillows. So now I think it's time that we move our attention to plants. I think that looks like what's up next is plants and little shelves for the plants. So let's go ahead and get to work on that. I've got everything put together. I think I've got everything put together that we're going to need to get through somewhere over here. So let's go ahead and start with this guy, which looks like probably the most complicated. And what we need to do first, it says we had to cut 5 of this wire. I don't even know if, man, that's so thin it's hard to even see. So I've got 5 of them here. It says cut 5 F17 at length 30 millimeter and bend it. So I guess we just kind of do what the picture shows there. Let me see if I can get these. I'll move them over into the bottom camera here, so maybe we can see a little better. I don't know. They're very thin. Oh, in fact, there's one right there I can't even see. It looks like what we need to do, I mean, all they say is cut them to length and then bend it and then apply pigment. So we're going to actually paint this wire. I don't know how well that's going to work. But what I think I'm going to do is try to kind of twist these at the bottom here to hold them together, I think is what I see going on. And then we're going to kind of pull them apart. Like I said, we've got 1, 2... This is very hard. They're very thin. 3, 4, 5. Kind of 3-dimensionally there, kind of spread them apart. Something like that, maybe. And then they've got them all kind of wrinkled, bent up, and I'm not sure how you just kind of do it. I don't know. That's going to be my game. Ouch, ouch, ouch. They're like little pins. It just pricked my finger with it. Kind of just bend them all together, or but not together, but around where they kind of fit in with each other together. I don't know how to say that. Is that anything like what they've got going there? Theirs is way more bendy than mine. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know the best way to do this. I don't know. Does that look like... I think we're going to have to just kind of go with that. I think that's all right. Maybe just kind of add a few more bends here or something like that. I don't know. Can you guys even see that? I don't know. We're going to go with it. Maybe once I've got it painted, it'll be a little easier to see. And they want us to use this brown paint that they provided. It's basically, it looks like paint by number paint. So we'll use it. I'm sure this paint is intended to be used on metal. How do I get this thing open? Let's see if I can splatter brown paint all across the room. There we go. Okay. I'm assuming this is probably just acrylics. I'm hoping it is. I'm going to hold down here at the bottom because this is eventually going to be inserted into a vase here, as you can see. So I don't know if the bottom necessarily has to be painted, so I can just hold it at the very bottom, and then I'm going to paint. Okay, I'm just going to kind of, oh boy. I'm going to kind of smear this all over it, I guess. Oh, this is weird paint. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of gummy or something. I don't know what the right word is. It's kind of, it's like really sticky-ish. Paint all the way down to my fingers here. And it, of course, is not painting the metal very well. You know what we could have done and what we should have done. I'm just following the instructions, but which if you follow this series, I generally do very poorly at following the instructions. I try to follow the instructions, I guess is the best way to say this. But what we should have done is I could have sprayed this with some primer or something. Or something. I could have sprayed it with some primer. And I think would have helped this paint stick to metal. I mean, metal does not paint very well if you've ever tried to do it. Let's let this sit. You know what I'm going to do? Let me put my brush down. I should have do I have just a little clamp? Well, this one should work. I thought I had a smaller one, but let me see if I can clamp this in here like so. In fact, let me go to here. Let me see if I can hit a few of these spots I missed. The problem is I don't even know if I missed them. It just does not. Metal does not paint. I mean, let's just be very real about this. Let's do that. I think I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll try to throw a second coat on it and see if that'll get it to look a little less metally. But I'm going to set this. In fact, I'll set it back here so we can keep an eye on it. I set it right back there. Let me close my paint up before we have a huge disaster. I think I got some water sitting around here. Now, let's see. Please be water-based acrylic. I believe it is. All right. And this is the brush, by the way, that came in the kit that I'm using. So I don't really care if it gets messed up too bad. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. So let's let that dry. And I think what we'll do is maybe we'll go ahead and try to put the little table together. So let's see. How do we do that? We want to have this flat piece here. And we're going to put a leg piece on each side. Where's my plastic pieces I'm using for my glue? Get that one off of there. Let me just give myself some CA glue down here. And I always mention this is Starbond CA glue. And if you want some good CA glue, I got a discount to Starbond down in the description. It's a 10% discount if you want to get some. I mean, it's very good CA glue, and they have all kinds of different varieties of CA glue. So for whatever you need. Let me see. This is supposed to be, I think, square. Right? Let me look. Yeah, we need a square. Make sure this is nice and straight and square. I could use just the white. Whoops. Could use the white glue, and it would give me more time to kind of manipulate the pieces, but we don't have that kind of time. We only have like 20 minutes or so here together, so we got to get moving. They want us to do that, and then the other one. Yeah, and then we'll put in between pieces. Okay. Okay. Thanks. It's gluing to my finger. Get it off my finger. Yeah, there we go. It's glued to my finger again. Okay. Now we've got to get these little guys in between there. Probably the easiest way to do that is I'm just going to touch. Can you guys see what I'm doing with the glue here? I'm just going to touch it here. I'm actually going to take this with some tweezers now. Touch the other side like so. That's actually, I'm going to try to fix this real quick because that is not straight. Oh, I'm going to have to re-glue it. Yeah, we've got to have these straight or these pieces are not going to fit in between there. And I've glued it to my finger again. How am I possibly doing this? Okay, let's grab this now with its glue. And I think they have it, yeah, even with the runners on the other side. This is where, well, I don't know, it's going to work. But this is where just using maybe some, maybe using just some wood glue or something would work better because we could just glue it up, clamp it. But, but with the CA glue, which will dry a lot faster, we got to work faster. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here. Yeah, and then push that into it. And I'm trying to make sure that this runner, they kind of line up, or at least they're real close, which it is. Okay, that's working. Okay, so let's get the other one. Yeah, like, this is also the problem with using good CA glue, is it actually glues quickly, like super glue is supposed to. Okay, let's hit where that runner is right there, and then squeeze us in. It's real close. Oops. Yep, that's pretty good, I think. I can probably squeeze those together just to give it. Yep. And there is our, what do they call it? A little bench or table or whatever. Flower stand, they're calling it. So let's slide that on out of the way. I kind of want that paint to keep drying over there. So you know what we could do, actually? Let's just go ahead and glue the little vase piece, which is this big bead, on the table. And then we'll put the, I guess it's like a little flower or whatever. So this is super simple to do. I'm just gonna dip the end of my little bead vase thing right there. And again, I'm gonna go just a smidgen off center. I don't want it dead center. I want it a little bit off center. Again, this is a house that's going to have been lived in. Things get moved around. You do some dusting. The vases get moved. They don't get necessarily put right back in the center. All right, let's set that out of the way. What else do we have? Oh, you know, we can do this guy down here. We can do this little flower pot down here while we're waiting. So cut 3 flowers. I have this one, so we're going to cut these 3 flowers. I don't know how long to cut them, but I'm just going to cut them. I'm going to give myself some length. I can always trim them shorter if need be. Let me do that. I'm going to set that back over there. So I don't know if we need it later. And then we've got this. We're going to take F31 branches and leaves, stick F31 to F55, which is that, and then the 3 flowers. Okay, so we just want, so this what is this? F31 is this thing. There's like 4. We only need, they have like 3. So you know what? I'm just going to take these 3 right here. I'm going to take this, snip it off, okay. And then what we need to do is we're going to glue these in first and then kind of put the flowers in. So the best way, what's the best way to do this? I don't know. I mean, this hole's kind of big. You know what I've done in the past that'll probably work. So if I take the tacky glue, because it's pretty thick stuff, you can kind of fill the hole. Let me see if I can show it down here. I've done this on the previous builds. You can kind of just squeeze a whole bunch of glue in there like so. Like that. See how I completely filled the hole with it? Now, whoops. Okay, we got to be careful though, not to get the glue everywhere. And then what we can do is you just kind of stick these on down through there and it grabs that glue. You know what I mean? So it's something's going to glue to something at least, you know. If nothing else, can I get a 3rd one in there? I kind of want 3. I don't like even numbers, quite honestly. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, if we just slide these in there, will there be enough glue for them to stick? We want the flowers to all kind of be together, I suppose. I'm not exactly a florist here. What's funny is I'm not a florist by any means, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but we do keep flowers at the house. Like I keep a vase of flowers on the kitchen table and have a little vase of flowers that I keep on, let's go like that, on the, what am I trying to say? On the countertop. And I'm the one that keeps them. So I buy the flowers and put them together, and I don't know. I just like flowers in the house. I like plants in the house. I'm a proponent of the outside in and outside. What is it? Outside in, inside out kind of thing. So in other words, bringing the outside in and the inside out. Very much a Frank Lloyd Wright kind of thing. I'm gonna try to put another. I don't know if it's gonna fit. I had 3. Oh, this is the 3rd. Oh, maybe I can just do it like this. Let's just spread this apart. Yeah, I'm not a florist, but I'm being very picky with this. Can those spread apart for me? I'm trying to get these to be a little further apart. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's push all of this back in. It's starting to slide out. I don't like that flower. Let me pull this flower. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I don't know why I'm being so picky. These need to go back here, like so. Okay, back here. like so. Get back, get in there, you little... You know, I'm telling the people how I'm a florist, and then now you're embarrassing me. You know what I'm going to do, I think, which will make this easier. I'm going to cut some of these leaves off the bottom. What's happening is it's not wanting to fit in there because these leaves are holding it out. Come on. Some of the toughest plastic I've ever tried to cut here. What's going on here? Just cut off of there. Okay, that should help. Okay, and I want this one back here, please. There we go. Now it goes in. Okay. Put the double one in. Flowers forward. We want the flowers showing. This is all floristing 101. I don't know. I'm making that up. I don't even think floristing is a word. Okay, yeah, I like how that turned out. This one's a little tall, but I'm not going to mess with it because I like how it looks. Okay, ta-da! We have a flower thing. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Let's go ahead and grab this and see if we can put a second coat of paint on it. Because I would like to actually get it done before we finish up today. I didn't realize I was going to have to do 2 coats of paint on all this stuff. Okay, let's see if that's... I'm trying to put it on there kind of thick. Let's just put it on there thick. You know what I mean? I'm done playing around. You know. Let's get some brown on this. Problem is, I'm gonna have to let this dry before we can glue on the little red roses. Okay, let's let that... Let me do that. Yeah, oh look, that kind of works. Just pull it up ways like that. Okay, let me let that dry back here again. And move that out of the way. Clean the brush. Clean the brush over here in the water. Okay. And we're going to have to let that dry again. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, I'll wait on that. What I think we'll do is this right here, which is basically they're stone benches, and all it is. Oh, here's a... Set that aside. They're stone benches, and all it is these big beads, and then there's a paper cut piece that just kind of glues on top. pretty complicated. So I think what I'll do, I think the best way to do this is I'm going to put, now again, I'm going to try to put my glue on towards the inside edge here. Yeah, and once it starts pouring, coming out, I'm going to kind of spin the bead like so. See if this works. Let's, oops, knocking stuff down over there. Let me have this, can I have it back? Let me have this back. I'm gonna put it on top, and then I'm gonna kind of turn it also, so it kind of smears all over the top of this thing. Okay. We'll let that dry, which looks okay. But I think once it dries, we can probably take our blade and kind of cut off, like put it on the edge of the bead around it, and then kind of trim it. So let's do the same thing for this other one. Now I'm gonna have to let this glue completely dry before we do that. But I think we'll be able to do it. And I think by kind of spinning the bead here, I'll just, yeah, see, spinning it worked better than trying to do it that way. There we go. Because if you spin, when I spin the bead with the glue, it pulls the stream of glue around it. Kind of works. I don't know. And then let's put this guy on here. And again, I'm just going to give it kind of a 360 turn. And I've successfully glued it to my finger as usual. There we go. And then that's that. And then, like I said, once that dries up, I'll take an X-Acto and trim them out, I think. But let's set them over here to dry. This is going to have to dry up. Can you guys even see what this is? I think it's kind of looking like sticks and whatever. I need to... Where's my brush? I need to pull some of this paint. It kind of bubbles. See how thick? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of gummy. sticky paint. I guess it's, yeah, see that? So I need to pull some of that gummy away. Okay, that looks a little better. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to let that dry. And then as you can see in the instructions, and I guess maybe we can do it tomorrow, or what I think I'll actually do, I think it's pretty straightforward, is now we can do it together. Where's some scissors? You cut these guys off, basically at the, you cut them like so, you cut the strings off of them. Like so, that can just go away. And then what I do is I'll touch it into my CA glue, and then you just put them wherever you want. Because basically what it says, it says cut 5 of the metal things 30 millimeters long, bend it, apply pigment, F19. So it's not even paint, it's pigment apparently. Stick in vase, which this is our vase we're gonna be sticking it in. And then it says cut and stick F26, which are these little guys, random quantity. That's all it says. So I counted out 10 of these little guys. So we're gonna put 10 of them on here. Looks like they definitely have at least one on the ends of each of these wires. So I'll glue them on there. I'll do this in between episodes, and we'll see it tomorrow when we come back together. So I'll probably put 2 per wire, and then I'll glue that. Same way we glued this vase. I'll pour glue in there, the white glue, and then I'll just stick the branch in there, and we'll have hopefully what looks something like a flower pot on a bench. that's the theory going. Anyways, I'll have that done for tomorrow, and then we will start working on another vase here. And I think what I'll do, oh wait, we got this vase too. That one looks pretty cool. So we'll do that one together. This one, I think what I'll do is go ahead and bend up the wire and get it painted. Now, this will work perfect. So I'll get it painted, and then so we saw that happen today. Tomorrow, we'll do what I'm saying I'm going to do with those red things, but we'll do it together with the leaves and the flowers. But I'll have it ready to go so we can go ahead and just glue those up. And then we move on to, looks like a teapot setting, a tea setting here that's going to go on a bench. So I'll probably get that stuff. I'll get all of this ready for tomorrow. Hopefully we can get it all done tomorrow. At some point, we'll actually start making a building. Yeah, so here we've got some actual building stuff that's going to be coming up. So we'll try to get all these little detail parts done. I'll get things ready in between episodes so that tomorrow we can just hit the ground running. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it helps. I hope if you're building either this kit, and if you do want to build this kit, please check the description below. There's a link there where you can get your own if you want to follow along. Or if you're building any kit, hopefully when you see, the mistakes I make, because there's things after having done these steps, I would probably do them differently next time, which we kind of talk about along the way. So hopefully that gives you a little insight onto building yours as you go along, so you don't make the same mistakes I do. Anyways, I hope it's helpful. I hope it's enjoyable. Thank you for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. Leave me some comments down there. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Do all those things you do on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.